Hello, this is TJ with PianoClubHouse. Going to start my first video on my D flat chords, the key of D flat. Basically, when I play the piano, I have one chord for each note of the scale that I use, probably 70 to 75% of the time. Whatever note my bass is on, my right hand is going to be playing a specific chord for that note. Again, this is a general rule. Like I said, it goes about 70% of the time this will be the case. So let me show you what each of my chords are for each one of these notes, and then we'll do the series of my D flat volume of videos. You'll see how I'm applying these chords to songs, to grooves, to familiar songs that you know, and you can kind of begin to decode or uncode how songs are put together in this key, in the key of D flat. I'll also show you a few optional chords that I use for each bass note, but for the most part, there is one bass general chord that we use for each bass note. So let's just jump right into it. Okay, let's start. On the one note, on D flat, I'm using this chord. It's just a D flat one chord. D flat, F, A flat, that's the basic one chord, the D flat triad. I like to add this second note, E flat. So you can do this, or drop this D flat down to C and just straddle this. And with this one, for the second chord, E flat, it's what I call the four chord. Because we actually play it on the fourth note too. This is primarily why I call it the four chord, but I'm doing the same chord on the two. It's a D flat, F, G flat, B flat. And again, this is the same note on the fourth note, G flat as well. I typically do a 2-5-1, E flat, which is the second note of the scale, the 5, A flat, and 1 is just the first note, but on the octave, D flat. 1, 2, 3. Now remember, the fourth note is this fourth chord again, but when I get here, an optional way to play this same note is to invert it. Invert just means play the same notes of the chord, but move one of the notes to an octave higher. So I'm going to move this D flat here and play it up here, and play it like that. It's the four chord, same as I did before, I'm just inverting it. So let's put it together. Here's the 4. The fifth note, A flat, has two different chords that you can use. D flat, G flat, A flat, and D flat at the top. And then, or this one, which is an inverted A flat chord. C, E flat, A flat. You can hit this if you want to. Lots of times you'll hear this kind of, these two chords resolve to each other. Okay, let's go through that so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then on the 6th there are two chords here as well, depending on the song and how it's used. You can play the D flat, an inverted G flat chord, D flat, G flat, B flat. Do this this one chord. Remember the one chord we did at the very beginning, where we straddled this D flat? For the 7th note of the scale, the C, it's in most cases a inverted A flat chord. C, E flat, A flat. And then back to the 1. Or this one, depending on which one you use. One more time all together. And what I would recommend is just practice going up the scale and playing each corresponding chord, and you'll get used to doing those transitions with your hands and moving from chord to chord smoothly and seamlessly. And remember, you can also do this forward inverted. Move this E flat up here. Or 2-5-1 next. Inverted. Inverted 4 chord. Those are my basic chords for D flat. We'll get into some various progressions and chord transitions in the next series, but I just wanted to give you the basic ones for D flat that I used. Practice those going up and down the scale, and practicing your chords. And once you get those locked in, things should get a lot easier for you as far as breaking down songs, and we'll get into that more in the following videos. Thanks for watching. This is TJ with Piano Clubhouse.